If you're watching this video, let me tell you something. Come here, come here, come close. I feel for you. You come into a room and you can brighten somebody's whole day by just smiling at them. And people tell you this. People are like, your smile just brightens up my day. Or you come into a room, your light shining so bright, I gotta have sunglasses on. I'm blind up in this bee. You may be wondering like, okay, if I attract negativity, if I attract the energy leeches, if I attract the broken people, then does that mean I'm broken? And I want to say, hey y'all, welcome back to Holistic Flow. I am your girl Lolo. There's a lot of us out here who have special gifts, special talents, and you may see a common theme in your life of attracting certain people. For some of us, it's like attracting narcissists, whether it's a friendship or relationship. For others of us, it's like attracting broken people. For others, it's attracting insecure people. If you've been through that cycle before, I can just say that I relate to you and you're not alone. And just because you attract that doesn't mean that you are that. But I'll get into it in this video. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I noticed patterns in my life of people that I attract, friendship-wise, relationship-wise, both, and wanted to sort of take a deep dive into why you may be attracting broken people that need healing. Now, let me get one thing straight. I believe that every person still has something to heal from. And if you're wondering, like, do people actually heal before they go into other friendships or other relationships? Yes, the definite possibility that if you are becoming aware of the deep work that you have to do inside of your subconscious mind, which I know that sounds scary, but sometimes that's what's required in order to heal. But if you're committed to doing that work, of course, most definitely you can heal fully. I've done it before. There are certain things that don't faze me anymore. They're not scratching on old wounds because I've allowed those wounds to heal up fully before trying to help other people heal their wounds too. So the first thing that I want to say is that all of us have different gifts, talents, abilities, and sometimes other people can notice your gifts, talents, and abilities before you do. If you always knew that you were different in one way or another, if you were special, or if you were you just stick out, comment down below if you relate to that, because I definitely relate to it. And when people can pick up on your gifts and talents before you even realize them within yourself. I feel like when we're a child, that's when we're the most pure and we're the most aware of our gifts and talents, and we embrace them. And that is why I feel like, we're instructed to have a childlike heart. Like, our Creator wants us to embrace our inner child, because that is where our healing comes from, because that is where our everything originated from. Our mind, our creativity, our happiness, it originates from like being like a child. So when you see grown-ups that get a chance to have fun, I get a chance to go to the trampoline park, or I did an Instagram reel showing myself going to the park by myself, doing some handstands in the grass, climbing a tree, and doing all these fun things. And people like to see that because that shows a childlike heart, and it's actually very attractive to people. Not only attractive romantically, I mean, that can be a thing, but when you have a childlike heart and when you're in tune with your inner child, that is attractive. That's one thing that can attract people, just people in general, not even just talking about people who haven't healed. That's one thing to observe. And if you find that within yourself, that you embrace your childlike qualities, then don't change that. Keep it, because it's very important. And I did another IG reel a long time ago, and I believe I also put this on a YouTube short one time, that there are two types of people that you may come across. One person may be a light giver. When they walk into a room, their brightness just shines up the whole room. If you relate to that, comment down below. Are you a light giver? Like, you come into a room and you can brighten somebody's whole day by just smiling at them. And people tell you this. People are like, your smile just brightens up my day. Or you come into a room, your light shining so bright, I I gotta have sunglasses on. I'm blind up in this bee. And then another person is a light dimmer or a light taker. These are people who may have good intentions. They may not intend to hurt anybody or do anything foul, but they just end up sucking the life out of everything because they may be the most negative person in the room. They may be the complainer or the energy leech. Whenever they see something that somebody else has that they want, they just leech onto them, maybe in a way of trying to get close to them, and then they start leeching off of their energy. If you relate to that, comment down below. I've been through that many times. And so as somebody who's attracted both people, you may be wondering, like, okay, if I attract negativity, if I attract the energy leeches, if I attract the broken people, then does that mean I'm broken? And I want to say no, that doesn't mean that you are broken. Not all the time. It depends. So some of us attract negativity because we are the negative person, and energy leeches that leech off of positivity can also gravitate towards negativity because like attracts like, birds of a feather flock together. So people who are negative want camaraderie too. They want somebody to agree with them and often pump them up on their negative ways and support that negativity because that feels comfortable to them. But on the flip side, if you attract narcissists, that doesn't mean that you are narcissistic. It may not mean that. What it may mean is that gift that we were talking about a couple minutes ago, somebody might see that within you and know that you have that gift before you know it yourself. And this is why I stress to know thyself. That's the African proverb, know yourself. Because if somebody sees what's in you before you see it within yourself, I feel like you are more vulnerable to those types of attacks of negativity because you're not aware of yourself or your light. Your light is like a superpower and you have to protect it. Not so much that you have it guarded and you don't trust anybody, right? But you can kind of filter in and out the people that you let in based upon what you can really assess their intentions based upon what their intentions may be. And it's all about having a spirit of discernment. So some people, even though you are a positive person, even though you are a giver, you are very open with your talents, abilities, gifts, because you may not see the power in them. And I know that may sound weird, like, okay, if I'm not noticing my talents, abilities, how is somebody else noticing it and able to leech off of it? Because our gifts, even though they are a gift to other people, they're not only for us, we share them. We also have to realize that if we're always pouring into other people, that's valuable. And eventually, if we pour out to people and we give some here, give some there, give some there, we'll never be filled back up because we're always giving and never receiving. So you may be really, really open to giving, whatever that gift of, healing is. But if you're not aware of how much you're giving, if you're not aware of your gift, you'll end up giving so much that it just drains you. And people are able to see how giving you are. So in a way, they leech off of that. Maybe they take advantage of that and it ends up in a situation that doesn't serve you anymore because you weren't aware of your light. You weren't aware of how valuable it is to not only use it, but then also conserve enough for yourself. Now, before we go any further, do you know that I launched a Patreon channel recently? Woo! Applause, applause, applause. Yes, I launched a Patreon just for all of you who want to get like a little extra sneak peek into my personal life. I've already posted a few videos, one being a weekend in my life vlog and as well a sneak peek into the time that I actually saw a real spirit. Like, yes, a spirit. A spiritual being in the woods, and got it on film for you, and I uploaded it in my Patreon. In the Patreon, you have the decision of being a close friend, where you get extra behind the scenes vlogs, you get to vote on whatever content that you want to see, and you get extra videos. Or you can go to the higher tier where we're in there building a whole community. We're going to have a private Discord community where we can chat in real time. And also you'll get a special shout out on this YouTube channel as well. We'll do live stream Q&As on that higher tier. So if you want to see me cuss a little bit, because I be cussing sometimes, We'll do unfiltered Q&As where you'll see like the raw, uncut version that, you know, YouTube sometimes doesn't really like. So if you want to give it that, go ahead and join my Patreon, and I would love to honor you as either a close friend for the low tier, or if the higher tier, you become a homie. So if you want to support, or if you just want to get a little sneak peek into my life because you're nosy, just kidding, then go over to my Patreon. The link is in the description box of every video now. And the first 20 people who join the Patreon will get a one-on-one call with me just to say welcome and thank you for all your love and support. So one example of the way that this has shown up in my life is that I find I attract people who need healing at the time. Now, I will say this, it's never a thing that it fully is benefiting them. There's always something that I can get out of it. So just think about every situation that you've been in. If you've experienced this, which I'm pretty sure you have if you clicked on this video, if you're seeing it as something that has made you bitter and has changed you and has made you closed off, I implore you to see how the things that you've been through, even though they may have been hurtful, they actually made you a stronger person. So I've had repeated friendships in my life where I attract sort of the same person, but like with a different face. And I feel like because of my unapologeticness to be, I guess, quirky, a little awkward, and confident in myself, there have been people that on the outside, they have my best interests at heart. They clap for me, you know, in front of my face, but behind my back, it's a whole totally different story. And it's funny how it's always like the closest people to you, the people who you feel like are your best friend, the people who you call your best friend, the people who you would literally call first something happened to you. And I think to myself, why is it always the closest people to you that betray you so hard? And I think about that saying that keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. And that resonates so much that it's always the people who are like right hand to you that ended up doing you the most harm in the end. And what this has looked like in my life is I have always been looked at as the healer or the friend that is there to take all the advice and somewhat take a little bit of responsibility of that person maturing, healing from trauma, releasing their trauma, and have been sort of the dumping pot for that a lot of times. And I realized that, number one, people are able to see that gift within me way more than I'm able to see that within myself, because so funny, I ended up making a YouTube channel dedicated to helping people heal, you know? But the thing was, I realized that I couldn't do that in close friendships because it was too close to home for me, because I end up caring about people so much that I will go through the full lengths to make sure that whatever happens, since I am the person that they count on, I am there when they need me. And when I realized that I couldn't do that so close to people, like I couldn't do that with my people that I consider my best friend, I couldn't do that. It just showed me how closed off that I had to be in order to protect that part of myself. Because sometimes you end up giving so much of yourself that it ends up being detrimental for you and them, because you can't even keep yourself together and they're looking towards you to help facilitate their journey of healing. So in recognizing that, I have become a lot more, I guess, hard-hearted towards getting close to people in friendships, toward hanging out with people too often, because I don't want another repeat of that cycle over and over and over and over again. Sometimes you find that you just can't take it. However, I feel in some part of me that because it is my gift to help give advice or help facilitate somebody's trauma dumping experience without breaking down myself, it has shown me that I am strong enough to handle it. I just have to choose my battles wisely. And I also have to guard my heart. Sometimes we can just become so cold and closed off that we're actually closed off to not only the things that don't serve us, but we're also closed off to our blessings. You don't want to become so closed off that you're actually missing opportunities to be a blessing to somebody else. Because at the end of the day, our gift is not only for us to keep. It's a gift in order to give it to other people. So find that way that you can give to other people without it hitting so close to home for you. And for me, this is it. I'm talking to you all through a camera, and I know that on the other side of the camera, it's helped a lot of other people like heal themselves and realize things about themselves. Like that video that I did 2 years ago about not fitting in and have no friends. That hit home for so many people, for like 300,000 people. And I'm so thankful for that. But that's how I have to facilitate it. So in essence, in conclusion, find that soft spot, that sweet spot for you, that you can be vulnerable and conserve your energy and still practice your self-care without having to be a crutch for other people, especially because it's always going to be the closest people to you. So either find out how to hold those people at arm's distance, or maybe cut some people off. See, people will make you feel crazy for being selfless. But in being selfless, you can actually take better care of more people instead of your energy always being focused on one person or a group of people. Because if your gift is so powerful or so valuable, why not allow other people to experience it too? So don't think that being selfish is a crime. It's actually better than being selfless, because you can actually use your gift better. And that's all I have to say about that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to check out the Patreon channel below. I'll be posting on there multiple times throughout the week. So go ahead and check that out. And until the next video, I'm sending peace your way, love your way, and joy to you, your family, and your friends. All right, y'all. Peace.